This is a Muncie broadcast. Code Red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's going to hit the eardrums. Uncle the Podcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name's Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here leads the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. 348 is the episode, and here we are. One thing to say, I got my ears cleaned out. Oh, I sure can hear that thing loud and clear. It even says something about my ears on that show.
It's an exciting thing. It's an exciting
thing. Drums. If you study that.
So the benefit,
get that into the head.
The good thing about that, Uncle, is when people call in to the show tonight, you will be able to hear them much clearer than before.
Wait.
So that's a good thing. So if you want to call in, please do 319-527-5016, or use Skype and type a message to Chuck, Charles Artocelli.
And Eddie, we're going to Game 6.
We are. Going to Game 6.
And it's a close one in the other one.
Very exciting.
6-5.
So we could talk about Major League Baseball again. We're live on the Ocelli Radio Network.
Yeah, the Mets took a beating the one night, though. 8-0.
Yeah, I know. But they're 3-2, but I have a feeling they got to push to come back. I think they will do it.
Well, I'll tell you, I stopped watching the other night. And I was like, after I watched the 8-0 blowout, then I saw them losing like 5-0. And I said, you know what? I'm done watching. I almost feel like I was causing a curse, you know?
I was thinking the same thing. I'm doing it with my picks. And that's why I'm not in football. I'm not looking at it.
We know the feeling, yeah.
I know what's happened. I'm right now ahead by a game, but that was because the Thursday game. But I'm saying to myself, if I watch these games, I'm going to lose. So what I'm going to do is not even watch them.
Don't watch them.
And see what happens.
Easy solution there. Yeah, just stop watching and then just...
And I do the same thing.
See, now Jimmy incorrectly told me earlier that the Mets were done. I said, you kidding me? They're already done? It can't be. No, I know it's not now. I see.
He saw what Jimmy saw was Dodgers winning 2 more games extra in New York until it 3-1. That's what he saw.
Right.
And he threw it out the window saying, "Oh, they're done." And like he said to you. But look what came up, Jimmy boy.
Right. 2 possible games
coming
left.
Back.
2 possible games left. Look, that's what the Mets did all season. Right?
That's what I'm saying.
They keep coming back. And that's the thing. They get under it and they get beat up bad. I mean,
you know what I think they like? They like to be the professor. Being they do that.
They like coming from behind.
Reason. They want to charge. They want a competition. Now they have it with the Dodgers, but they're pushing themselves. And that's what I think they do.
And now, let me ask you this, though, because you've been watching Ohtani all year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So do they stick him in the outfield sometimes? Is that what they do with him? Or do they just,
DH him.
Well, okay.
Mainly DH him most of the time.
Well, that makes sense. I would DH that guy.
DH him since I heard that he can't pitch anymore.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So now he's DHing, what I'm hearing.
He was pitching just fine the other night.
Oh, he did just the other night? I missed that one.
That's what I'm saying. He was pitching for a bit the other night. I saw him pitch, and I said, man, this guy's actually better than I thought. I mean, even all the stuff I read about him, I never seen him play, right?
Well, what I heard about, he said he was hurting because he couldn't pitch anymore. What I heard, I don't. Well, I mean, Mrs. Sidekick saying something about that.
And then
So
he fouled the ball off.
I heard about what she said.
Yeah,
so.
and then he fouled the ball off, and it might have hit his toe, it might not. But then he fouled the ball off, and it hit him right in the crotch.
I did see that. Yeah, 2 times in a row, he hit himself with the ball. That was crazy.
He hit himself with on the foot, maybe. But the thing is, the shot on the foot, you're not sure. You know, you're looking at it going, did that ball make contact with his foot or not? Right?
Yeah.
But the shot in the crotch, no, that definitely happened, and he shook it off. He shook it off good. You know, initially the announcers thought he got hit in the side. And I was like, yeah, that didn't look like the side. Then they played the replay and they went, whoa, nope, not the side.
Yeah, that was horrible. Oh, God. Yeah, I felt bad for him on that.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go out of the game with that, you know? Yeah. And then the Mets hitter got hit right on the thigh with a fastball. And I thought, oh, man, this guy's going to go out because he rolled on the ground like somebody broke something. And I said, oh, boy, here we go. But that game they lost.
That game they lost, and that must have been three wins for the Dodgers at that time.
Right.
Yeah, and they were 3-1.
3-1.
So now they're saying, all right, that's one more game. Dodgers win it, it's over. But no, wait a minute.
Right.
Turn the page.
Well, the Dodgers got 2
chances. Because came out bombing.
It's still tough to come out. It's still tough to come out in a 3-1 deficit because, look, the Dodgers only have to win one of the next 2. Right?
At home.
At home. Yeah, I know
Dodger
that.
Stadium.
I know that.
So the Mets are behind the 8 ball bad. Right? Even if they win the next one, even if they crush them, it don't matter because they could still just win. They could just squeak out one of these 2 games. That's all they got to do.
Wait, just one game at a time, like they say. But look what they did for example, look what they did to Philly. Thought they were done and finished.
Right.
They came back and boom, they swept them. They took them out. Yeah. So I can't really put my finger on this whole series.
And then they got that kid Hernandez, right? Was it Kiki Hernandez?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that guy, all of a sudden, when he goes into the postseason, he cranks up.
Right. Yeah, that's the other thing.
He's like
they got these crazy hitters that will go crazy, and it's time to go. This is the end of the year. Let's get moving. Boom, boom, boom.
When you were a younger man, Uncle, you could watch Reggie Jackson. They called him Mr. October, right?
Yeah. I heard about him too. Yeah,
he was the guy. He was the guy. If you were in the postseason and you had Reggie with you, you were going to do good because he was going to crank it up in the postseason every time.
Right.
But
every single time. All right, there's my Reggie's up.
Yeah, but the Dodgers got like 3 Mr. Octobers and Ohtani. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
Exactly. But if the Mets squeak by on them, man, I don't know. That'll be something. I don't have a lot of faith because, they need to use their bullpen. They need to use like 6 pitchers a game to get by.
Exactly. That's what I believe they did tonight or someone. They did something. They did the hitting. They woke up hitting finally with so many hits or the bullpen thing.
Well, that's the thing with them. It's either feast or famine, right? It's either they get lots of hits or nothing.
Right.
Lots or nothing. It's all or nothing with them. It's so funny because that's really what the Mets are like.
And that's what I kept looking at myself at. What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these Mets? And they're doing what you just said.
What's wrong with them?
What the heck is this?
Well, you realize outside of that Subway Series in 2000 or 2001, right? Before that, the last time they were in there was 88, for God's sake.
Oh.
So it's been a while. It's been a minute. And, look, they're due, but I don't know, man. Even if they don't get it. See, here's the funny thing, though. The Dodgers, they should win this.
Yes.
If they don't, what are people going to say about the Mets going in to face the Yankees, say? Because I don't think for a second that the Commanders are going to succeed beating the Yankees. What do you think of that one?
Right now, the score was, when I came up, 6-5 Yankees.
Oh, are they playing tonight?
Chuck, it's the Guardians. You're talking about Cleveland Guardians.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Guardians. You know what? I mixed it up.
The Commanders are the DC football.
That's the Redskins, right? Okay, I'm sorry. I knew that 2 different Indians got changed to the Commanders and the Guardians, but I mixed them up. Sorry.
I know.
You're right. Well, one was the Indians and one was the Redskins. Anyway,
Yes,
we talked about
yes.
Chief Wahoo on the Friday night call-in show. So,
Yes.
anyhow, I'll shut up now, but just give you a little note here, Uncle. You got listeners in Germany and Canada and all over the U.S., according to the Ocelli stream. I have no idea who's listening on Twitter or anywhere else or watching any of the live streams, but on the Ocelli stream, that's what we got. And so, welcome to you from around the world, and thanks for tuning in.
Okay. All right, now.
Not so bad, right, Uncle?
What can we talk about there, Sidekick?
Well,
Here's our first phone call. Here's what we're going to talk about.
Oh, that's
Okay, phone call. Ring up and talking to the band. Let's go. Hello?
Hey there, Uncle. I was listening to the Mets conversation. I hope they take the Dodgers, but I don't know.
Hey, like I was telling Chuck, that darn thing they were coming on. Look what they did to Philly.
Yeah.
And
But
you're
rooting for the Dodgers, though, right, Uncle?
It's going to happen.
But you're
I
rooting.
really don't know.
You're rooting for the Dodgers, though, right,
Chuck.
Uncle?
I mean, Jimmy.
Well,
Who's this talking?
Are you rooting for
Who
the
is this
Dodgers?
talking?
Uncle, I'm talking to you right now. Are you rooting for the Dodgers or not?
Me? No, I'm a Met fan.
He's
you
a
want the
Met
Mets
fan,
to
yeah.
win? Okay.
Yes.
Listen,
I needed to
listen.
check. Yeah.
Listen, I'm a Met fan. I'm born in Brooklyn. Why wouldn't I be for the Mets, not for those sorry Dodgers?
Sorry, Dodgers.
Because the Dodgers came from Brooklyn. How about that?
No,
Sorry,
what I'm saying is,
Listen to this.
I'd like to see the Mets get in because I was from there. That's
Okay.
all I'm saying.
I got you.
Gracious.
That's fine.
That's
I was
all
checking.
I'm saying. That's
Okay.
all I'm saying.
If it wasn't the Mets,
Well,
though,
let
you'd
me-
probably be rooting for the Dodgers, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I was just checking.
I want the Dodgers to win. How about that?
All right.
Because you're not from New York.
No, I'm not.
So that's why. That's understandable. This is my point. I'm trying to tell people, but that's what I'm trying to do.
You know, I'm always confused about this there, Sidekick. Are you originally from Ohio or Pennsylvania? Which one is it?
Pennsylvania boy.
Well, yes, originally Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And if we're talking baseball, my baseball team, I am fond of the Phillies because I grew up watching them
Yeah.
in the 1990s, especially the
Philly,
team. I
yeah.
could go on and on about that team, which I find fascinating. But I watched them, so I lean on the Phillies as a baseball team. But then
Okay.
for other sports, I usually go with the LA team, the LA Rams,
Yeah.
LA
Okay.
Dodgers. So I you know.
So you got into the Phillies when Pete Rose left, basically.
Yeah. I remember Mike Schmidt
Right. Third base.
playing.
Mhm.
But that was before I even realized that. I was so little then. I was more the Lenny Dykstra, John Kruk, Darren Dalden, those guys.
Yeah, well,
that was the
Dykstra-
team that I watched.
Dykstra you got from the Mets, but that was a bad trade. But but Dykstra was a tough player for the Phillies for years and years. Anyways, okay, I didn't want to steal any more time. Curt Schilling, right? Tug McGraw. How about that? Was he still there?
I don't remember that name. I don't remember watching him.
Oh, I've
okay.
heard of that name.
Tug McGraw, you know him?
Yeah, I've heard. Oh, yes, I did. I remember what he was. Yes.
You got him?
I remember him.
Uncle remembers.
I remember that guy.
Of course.
Yeah, I remember him.
It's a cool name.
That was a guy that was getting like the motor going. Get the motor going. And he was moving along.
Oh, so that's why his name's Tug.
Super animated pitcher. Yeah, he was an animated pitcher.
I remember him. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Tug the cord, start the engine. All right.
Right. He was
Sounds
something
good to
like
me.
that. It was like that guy. And he had a long hair. Or was it short hair? I don't know.
It was hair.
But I think they made a show out of it. Tell you the truth.
You know what
But
amazed
they
me
made
about
a
the
show
Phillies
out of
back then? Honestly, Aaron, because I had, Philly stations in New Jersey, right? So I used to be able to watch, Philly baseball a lot. Is that, like, they made more excuses for the Phillies when they lost. Their announcers would always be like, the Phillies should have won this, and if they didn't, here's what it was never the team's fault. It was always something else. You know what I mean? It was like, they should have beat them, because they got Dykstra, and that's it. And they should have beat them, like every time. Every time. It wasn't like, look, we just got beat.
What? Sorry, Timmy?
It was that.
Was it Curt Schilling on the '84 winning Tigers?
I don't know. I'd have to check Schilling.
He bounced around to a few different teams, but he was on the Phillies for a minute. I forget where he ended up going after.
Red Sox?
He became a star with the
where he
Phillies.
ended up his career? Maybe. I don't recall. I think maybe
Chile,
that sounds right.
I think Philly. I think the Red Sox.
He went with a bunch of teams.
That sounds right.
He was kind of like just a journeyman knock-around, who gives a crap where he is guy, right?
Right.
And, okay, so he starts, according to what I see here on the internet, he starts with the Orioles and the Astros, then he goes to the Phillies for about 8 years.
Yes, it was a while.
Yeah, then the Arizona Diamondbacks, then the Boston Red Sox, and then he's done. He retires.
He did end up in Boston. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And now he's loving QAnon online and just spreading the truth.
But he was like a nobody. He was like a nobody for years and years until toward the end of his run with the Phillies. Then he was a big contract pitcher.
Right.
And I'm thinking, when did the Diamondbacks come into existence? Because he might have been one of those guys that they gave up, like they didn't protect him, so he got drafted over there. He might have been one of those guys. I don't remember.
Yeah, he was probably early on with the team because I remember it coming into existence like fairly later. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
probably a bit about that time.
The Diamondbacks won the World Series not long ago. Was it last year or the year before?
They won?
Yeah, they won the World Series.
I don't remember when.
It was close to 1 year ago or something.
I thought they went to one, but they lost recently. Didn't that happen just a couple years ago? 2 years ago? All right. I can't remember.
I don't know.
Well, Curt Schilling was the first 20-game winner that the Diamondbacks ever had, according to, I just went to the franchise timeline, and they mentioned that first, by the way, on their timeline. But let's see. It looks like, 99, I guess they came into existence.
99.
Yeah, that sounds right. 99 sounds about right. Them and what other team? Did the Devil Rays?
Devil Rays.
Devil
They were
Rays,
created
they
then?
came on.
Was there another one, too?
Devil Rays.
When did the Colorado Rockies come into existence?
No, that was earlier. That was the same year that the Marlins came in.
That was when
In
the
92.
Marlins
That was like
came
early 90s.
92.
When the
like,
Marlins came
92?
in.
Okay. Yeah.
92, that's when the Marlins came in.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up, but I just from my own memory, I think the Marlins came in 92.
Yeah, and it was the Rockies at the same
Marlins
time.
Came in. That's what I was saying.
That does sound right. Yeah.
Now we got to comment on the important part. The Lions destroyed the Cowboys. Just destroyed them.
Yeah,
I had them this past week. I had them, but look who you lost in that game. The guy
yeah.
Now, just for the record,
Hutchinson.
just for the record, the Marlins came into existence in 92, and they played their first game in 93.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, we got another call.
Got a phone call, Jimmy. Hold on now. Who's this on the line? They got talking to him. Hello?
Yeah, hang on.
Who's that talking? Oh, that's you again.
There we go.
I thought that was somebody
All right, man. I got to make a couple of corrections from what I've been hearing here tonight. First off, Chuck, Ohtani has not pitched.
I knew it was Ed.
Ohtani has not pitched. He's coming off a Tommy John surgery. He's projected to pitch next year. But there has been some rumor. There's been some rumor he may pitch in the postseason. I'm guessing maybe in a relief role. But that has not happened yet, Chuck. And Uncle, you're not a Mets fan. They're from Queens. You say you're from Brooklyn? Where the hell do you think the Dodgers began? The Dodgers are the Brooklyn. I wear my Brooklyn Dodger cap more than I wear the L.A. Dodger cap.
Wait a minute. I take that back.
The Dodgers began in Brooklyn.
I'm a Flushing man.
Uncle forgot where he's from. He's from a different borough. He's from Queens.
But in Queens, in that area. Let me sit down.
You're not a Mets fan, man. Get off of that. You're no Mets fan. Quit trying to fool everybody.
Okay, I thought Ohtani was pitching
when I was born there.
I thought Ohtani
Chuck is a Mets fan.
Yes.
Chuck is an authentic Mets fan. You are not a Mets fan, Uncle. Stop fooling. You can't fool us.
I was born there.
Okay.
Knock it off, man.
Ohtani, by the way, just wow.
Boy.
Ohtani did.
I know what I'm talking about. I'm a baseball
I know what
expert
you're
here.
talking about.
You know
You
what?
got to understand that.
He's
You gotta
correct,
understand
though.
where I was born first. before you
Ohtani
start
did not
yapping.
pitch. Ohtani hit. That's right. I didn't know that. Why are they putting designated hitters in the National League playoff games?
Well, it's a whole different.
Well,
thing.
no, they started that last year. The National League has the DH now, Chuck.
Oh God. Okay, well,
Everybody's
that's
DH.
why.
We're all DH now.
Well, you heard me ask, like, did they put him in the outfield or what? Because I didn't understand how he was in there unless he was pitching, and he hit a home run.
No, he's a DH because the National League adopted the DH last year.
Oh, for God's sake, that's why.
Regular season, postseason, we're all DH now.
Oh God, help us.
It's all DH until I become ruler of baseball. Then I will get rid of the DH. But right now, we're all DH.
Well, anyway, that's how he's gotten his hits, right? And he's what is he?
You want us DHing?
He's gone 6 for 27.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the postseason.
Yeah, but with runners on base, he's like 17 for 21.
Yeah, right.
Good.
Just before the season ended, he's got a crazy line that he runners on base, he knocks them in. Of course, he hits the odd leadoff home run now and then, but no, yeah, he's got a crazy thing. He's hitting like 200, but all of his hits for the last month have come with runners on base. So
it was pretty wild. Yeah,
they call him a unicorn, man.
And he hit that ball. Now, did you see that ball he fouled off his crotch?
I didn't see anything. I got the at-bat deal, so I'm listening to the radio broadcast. But I'll watch the highlights later.
Well, did you hear how he fouled it off his crotch?
I hope he's okay, man.
Yeah, he was in pain. I'll tell you that much. He was like really struggling to shake it off.
Yeah, that was rough.
Oh, I
bet. Hard to watch. Yeah, but
yeah.
Chuck, Count Pupper says he's on the phone line. Actually, I'm not sure if
He's on the phone line. All right,
what's
What
going
does
on?
Count Pupper know about baseball? Bring him in here.
He's next in line. You want me to add him? I'll add him.
Now hold on a second, you. Let's put him on in line.
Who, Pupper?
Yeah, Puppo.
Okay, you want me to leave
Bring
Ed?
the Pupper
Yeah,
on.
put him
All right,
on in line.
so you want me to
I'm having
leave-
this conversation?
Well, let me ask you, Uncle. Let me ask you so I know what I'm doing here. You want me to leave Ed on and just bring Count Pupper on, or what?
Yeah.
All right. What about
Yeah,
Jimmy?
let's have them two talk.
Okay.
I want to see those two talk.
You got it.
Pupper talk to Ed.
Hey,
Talk to Ed.
look.
I want to have that.
What am I
listening.
talking to
I'm
Ed
listening.
about?
I'm listening to this.
All
This
right,
is good.
Pupper, I'm a couple cocktails into this, man, and you better know some
I figured
baseball
he was
talk here.
drinking.
Come on.
I mean,
Sounds like he was drinking.
I've been having a few drinks too. I was just gonna say I love my Phillies. They weren't playing aggressive. They weren't swinging at any of the pitches they should have been swinging at. They were being kind of a bit of a pussy. And they had one of the strongest openings of all time in the season, and they really let us all down, all as Phillies fans. So,
Hey, Ed, I got to ask you. I got to
hope
ask
the
a
Mets lose,
question.
though.
Listen, you hope the Mets lose?
What he just said.
Yeah.
All right, well, the hell with Pupper then. All right. Anyways, listen, Ed, I
Go
got
Birds, baby.
a question for you.
Here we go. I told you. I'm gonna-
Do you think Ohtani is going to recover from this Tommy John surgery? Because a lot of these pitchers, I mean, some do, but a lot of them, they go through that Tommy John surgery. They're never the same.
What are we talking about? What picture?
Sometimes they're better, though.
Sometimes, but I mean, they're never the. Look, I said they're never the same. I didn't say they're never better. I said they're never the same, and some of them,
Yeah.
their careers
I
are
know.
over. I mean, he's still got a hell of a bat, apparently. So, I mean, you could figure a place, especially if the National League's going to keep the damn DH. It makes me sick. But
It's a new game.
Me too, Chuck.
A new game.
that's horrible. I hate when, if a pitcher can throw at somebody. See, I'm telling you, they had another guy, Yamamoto or whatever. That's who was pitching
They
that
still
night.
have him in the Dodgers.
Yeah, he's good.
But Yamamoto
Yeah,
hit,
He's good. He's a good one.
and he hit,
him in Dodgers.
and he had a hit batsman that night. The same night as Ohtani hit one of the home runs. Not the night he hit the leadoff, but the night he knocked in a couple people or whatever. That night, he hit one of the Mets right on the leg, hard. And I said to myself, you know what? That sucks because this guy, he could hit somebody, and I don't think Yamamoto meant to hit him. I don't think so. But either way, if he did, if somebody got nasty like that, this guy needs to stand in the box. I mean, that's the way I've always seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they told him you're out of the game,
Absolutely.
too. Take the umpire saying you're out of the game.
Yeah,
Get yourself out and sit down on the bench.
Yeah, so what? So you get, okay, I get an early night. Bye. So what? You know what I'm saying?
That's what they do.
No real consequence, though. You know what? You throw at a star player, you hurt their star player or something, man. You know, I got no problem with the next pitcher drilling one off of your back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, turn-abouts. I mean, seriously, you know. I mean, I know we live in the age of everybody needs to be careful with everybody, but, you know, come on. Either you're going to play the game or you're not. You know what I mean? And I say a pitcher has to stand in that box.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. It's always odd to me. I mean, I never really played baseball personally, so I always found it odd that somebody's so good at pitching that they can't turn around and bat like the other players all over the field. Like, what is it about pitching? Does it wear your arm out so much?
It's a totally different skill.
Is that it?
It's a completely different skill.
Well, isn't it a different skill from playing first base too? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
But here's the thing, Aaron. Look, the honest thing is, if you can pitch real well, you don't need to hit, right? Whether you got a DH or not.
That.
I mean, even when you got the 9 spot.
They're a protected class.
Yeah, it's a protected class. So, look, if you're a good enough pitcher, we don't care if you can hit.
Basically
now,
what it is.
Ohtani is a unicorn, like Ed said.
That was very good, and he hits. Oh, I know who he was. He played for the Giants, and he moved over to another team. What was his
name? I don't know
name?
who that was.
Anybody know?
But I know
Bumgarner.
That's him. That's him.
That's it?
Okay.
Bumgarner.
Well,
Bumgarner.
David Cohn.
But you was talking about
David Cohn, when he was with the Mets, was a good hitter.
Chuck, what you're talking about,
pitcher.
Chuck, about hitting and pitching and the hitting. Bumgarner, he is a good hitter and a good swinger, a good bumper.
Yeah, but this Ohtani's a freak.
He was hitting.
This Ohtani's a freak of nature, though. I mean, we haven't seen a guy like this.
He's a freak of nature.
We haven't seen a guy like this since Babe Ruth.
You're talking about pitch this DH stuff, and this stuff it's like taking his bat, Bumgarner's bat, away from him. But he's a good hitter.
Well, I always found it odd that Ohtani was on the Angels in the American League the whole time, where it seems like he was clearly made to be in the National League, that he could be hitting and pitching. Like, why is this guy not on a National League team? Why the Angels?
Well, see, I would see no problem sticking him.
The Dodgers, the rule changed.
But I would see no problem sticking him on an American League team, because you know what? Where is there a rule that says you can't be a DH and a pitcher? So I would DH this guy a couple times a week and then let him pitch in his rotation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and they did do that. Yeah.
And didn't the Angels do that with him or no?
Yeah, they would.
They did that to him, didn't they?
Yeah, as I recall, they did do that. Yeah.
But again, I don't know. The American League, I've never been a fan of the American League, mainly for this DH situation. But now there's no damn difference, so it makes me crazy.
Just hate it all.
I'm sort of getting. Actually, honest truth, I'm actually getting bored from this DH and what you guys are talking about, this DH.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right.
Because these DH, I do agree. Like, I go back to Gardner again. This guy hit the ball, threw the pitch, and hit the ball and threw the pitch. What is wrong with a pitcher hitting a ball?
Oh, it removes but it removes a whole element of the game where you had, look, let's figure out, do we need to take this guy out for a hitter now? You know what I mean? Do we need to bring in another bat because, I got a defensive shortstop, he's great at defense, but he doesn't hit worth crap, or we got a good catcher and we need a good catcher, but he doesn't hit. He can't run, he can't hit.
How they work it. That's how the managers work it.
Well,
you just said it, Chuck.
But it removes that whole element. Like, I don't need to worry about, Ohtani, you know what I'll do? I'll just move him over, and when he's done, his pitching arm's tired, fine. Let's put him in the DH spot after, Swap out the DH. The hell with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. And that way you've got a power threat in the lineup the whole time.
Yeah.
What do you hit, 56 this year or 55, something like that, Ed?
54.
54, and he's not even a pumped-up looking guy.
59 stolen bases.
Yeah, so he's got speed, Yeah, think about that. 50-50 player.
Yeah.
I mean, that's outrageous. That's
First
like
ever.
Hall of Fame. Like, he's almost guaranteed Hall of Fame already.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, he's already a Hall of Famer. I know that. He kept saying on the interview when he was talking to his manager, he wanted to go to a team that gets into the playoffs.
Yeah, he wants to win something. He should.
Exactly. To win something. He kept saying that over and over and over again to his manager. And his manager saying, just like we're talking here, just like that, saying, yeah, I want to get to a team that really, really needs me. And like he said, he went to the Dodgers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it happened.
I mean, I don't know what size contract he's going to get, but, I mean, geez. You know, even without the pitching arm, though. I'm just saying.
He's on a 10-year, $700 million, guys.
Oh, yep. He's one of them.
Yep. You didn't hear about that, Sean?
In sports.
Yeah, I thought so, but I wasn't sure if that was like the rumored deal. But you know what I mean, where they always release all these things. This is what we think the deal's going to be, and then it doesn't turn out that way.
I do. I know.
Yeah. Because a good pitcher, Clayton Kershaw was the first $30 million plus guy pitcher, just as a pitcher.
Right.
But Ohtani, he's a top line starter and a slugger.
Right.
He does. He's got to get 2 paychecks here.
Pretty much. I don't see any objection there. I mean, look, if these other guys are worth,
I don't either.
These other guys are worth $300 million over the course of a decade. This guy's easily worth $6. Just saying. If that's what the going rate is.
And he's getting 7.
Yeah. Well, so be it. Get what you can get. I mean, it's not like these franchises can't afford to pay.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I know it hurts us because now, it costs you $200.
We got to see what he's got when he comes back from this Tommy John. See if he's still got the 96 to 100 mile an hour fastball and all the other pitches he has. I mean, it's not like he can pitch, but he's so. He's a top-line starter.
Well, see, that's the other thing is, look, even if he doesn't have the velocity, he could come back and, he's very intelligent. I mean, I'm watching what he's doing with his process at the plate even. He's an intelligent hitter. So, I'm imagining that with his stats as a pitcher, he's been very intelligent there. Some of these guys lose velocity, and it's okay, I mean, you don't need to be a fireman your whole career. Yeah.
Kershaw lost his velocity, but he's still one of the better pitchers when he's healthy, even without his velocity.
Because he started utilizing a little trickery. It's like he throws you off with the splitter or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's deceptive. It's about the deception out of the hand. If your fastball looks the same as your changeup, these guys are screwed. I mean, it's very hard to hit that.
Big part of baseball is the mind game. Between the hitter and the pitcher, it's a mind game.
That's why I still like it.
Psychological game.
That's
why I still like it.
That's what baseball is all about, there, Ed.
Yeah,
it works the mind. It works the mind.
Exactly.
You hit it, Uncle. You definitely
hit it right on the head.
I think Pupper bailed on us, by the way.
Yeah. He's in the chat at Twitch. He said he had to get going. But
who's in the chat?
Pupper, he bailed.
Pupper's not here.
Oh, he's not there now?
Yeah, well, he's not on the phone, but he's on the chat on Twitch. He said he had to get going. But we do have we still have Ed, we still have Jimmy.
Yeah, you want me to put Jimmy on with Ed or
Jimmy? Yeah, have Jimmy come on for a few minutes here.
All right, whatever you want, Uncle. It's your hour. Whatever you say.
Indeed.
You need him to talk some.
So there he goes. Now we got Jimmy on with Ed at the same time. So I don't know. Maybe they're going to talk Tigers now.
All right.
Because the Tigers are finished this year.
Your job.
Well, Uncle, do you agree with me that the North Conference is now the best in all of football? I mean, where it's at now. I don't think it's out west or east. I think the Lions, the Bears, the Vikings, the Packers, I think we're the ones to beat.
I told you. Didn't I tell you? Watch out for those Bears.
We're back to the flyover states being strong.
They were going to be good.
The Bears?
Wait until you guys play the Bears.
Oh.
That's going to be a hard one to pick in our pick and choose here.
Lions, Bears.
Lions and Bears. Huh?
Yeah.
Lions and Bears.
So, Uncle, you said you don't want to pick football.
Too.
Uncle, you said you don't want to pick football, but who do you think? Forget about who you're rooting for. Who do you think is going to be in the World Series?
Oh.
Who do you think's going? First, like who do you think practically is most likely to be in that World Series next week?
I think the Yankees will be there.
Yankees will be there.
They're just hanging on right now. They're hanging on right now. Well, I don't know what the final was of that, but I think the Yankees will be there, even though, I don't know. It's a toss-up on the other side.
You think it's a toss-up between the Mets and the Dodgers?
Right, because of how they come back. How they rethink and
I say good luck, Uncle.
come back on something. I mean, you know how they just did it this season with the Phillies. I'm a little tossed on that down division because of that.
Yankees won 94 games this year.
Yeah, but who I think's going to win the whole thing? You might know that.
Yeah.
The big Yankees fan. The big Yankees.
I think they'll win.
Yankees
They'll
will take
either one of them.
I hate to
Bring
hear
them
that.
in. Bring them in. I know I hate them too. But I do hate them. But
Come on, Uncle. The Dodgers won 98 games this year.
I'm looking at that.
See, I'm going to, whether the Dodgers or the Mets make it, I'm rooting for the National League team. I'll tell you that now. Because I cannot stand, I don't like the American League. I never have.
Well, I don't know how they're doing it. I really don't know how the Yankees are doing it.
No, they buy the best
pitching
people.
or hitting.
That's
or
what they've always done.
The way they do things. It's just the way they do things.
Yeah, it's real simple.
In the standpoint
they very intelligently.
Like say the team is behind.
Yeah, they buy the best people.
They're behind. And they start, all right, whoa, coming up. We're pinpoint.
Yeah, but that's the thing, Uncle. They buy, but
here they go passing the team to win the thing.
But they get a huge payroll, Uncle, every time. Okay, and what they do
they're
is
going to cut their payroll.
And this is why I don't even know how they. Yeah, go ahead.
They do not need any more players.
Well, no, they never do because
have that and have
easy.
done. Cut down players down. You got your players, live with it.
Well, everybody's got the same number of players. But the thing is, the Yankees will turn around, though. And they'll not only, every other team, usually they got their top flight people. That's their best people. And they buy a team that they think they can field. And that's their top starters. Then the bench guys are always a mix, right? Guys on their way to the end of their career. Guys that are brand new rookies. Stuff like that they got in reserve. And almost always a couple of them end up in there because of injuries or whatever. Things happen, but the Yankees will turn around and pretty much they get top line people even on their bench.
There's another reason why I also like how they operate. Not to say I'm a Yankee fan. Don't take that in mind, but how they operate. For example, I take the Marlins, for example. To the Yankees.
Yeah.
Now, they remember the Marlins won their first World Series.
Yeah.
Why don't you keep the team, you idiot?
Well,
why don't you keep the team, you
because they had a cheap team.
No, because But you see the Yankees, on the other hand. Now listen here, Chuck, real close.
Yeah, but it's easy to
the Yankees, on the other hand, they do not just say, "Oh, let's get rid of players." They don't do this kind of crap. Because I like that.
Look, you like that, but here's the problem: it perpetuates the idea that the richest guy in the room gets to win. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens there because, look, the reason why the Marlins got rid of that team, and I know it bothered you, but the reason why is because they were winners, it was going to cost them 5 times as much.
That's the point.
But they don't make.
You got it, Chuck.
But Uncle,
you're changing my point.
You can't. But you can't charge people. Okay, but here's the thing.
You can't have an owner that doesn't have the money, then stay out of baseball.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Then that means you only want rich cities to be there because, look, you're not going to be able to charge the same money to go to a game in Miami as you are in New York City. You can't charge the same for a hot dog, a shirt, nothing. They don't have the same money.
And what about Milwaukee, for God's sake?
What is Milwaukee?
Like
what is
that?
Cleveland?
Yeah,
Cleveland?
Yeah, Cleveland. Yeah, exactly.
In Cleveland.
Yeah.
Or these second tiers. All right, fine. California's got freaking, 6 teams already? Whatever.
We got 6 teams, and look what we got. 6 teams sitting here, and we got Dodgers just hanging on for one more game to get in this World Series.
Yeah. But,
and you're complaining about these rich people?
But LA has money.
Chuck.
Okay, but here's the thing. It's the teams with the money that get to win, right? So, but if that's all it is, then it's a big casino game, and it's got nothing to do with the sport. You see what I'm saying? That's why I like it.
Bingo, you hit the jackpot.
Yeah, but doesn't that bother you?
The sports line.
Come on, doesn't that bother you? A little bit. Only the rich guys get to succeed.
Missing a big point.
Okay, tell me about it. Ed, I can't get my points out. Go ahead. Give him the point.
What's his point? Now, wait a minute. What's his point?
Give him the point, because I'm not making my point. Go ahead, Ed. You make your point.
He's not making his point.
Okay, look, if you own a ball club, and now ball clubs are usually owned by ownership groups, not just like, the O'Malleys or what was the guys that used to own the Yankees, what was the guy's name?
What, Steinbrenner?
Yankees
Steinbrenner.
George Steinbrenner, many years.
Yeah, that isn't how it works now. What it is, all these teams make money, but not all of them want to spend money. Now, you got whoever, I don't know who owns the Yankees now, but the Dodgers got 5-6 guys, and they're clearly baseball fans. Mm-hmm. So they put their money into the team. And the Yankees obviously are still doing the same thing, whoever's running that team. Mm-hmm. Now, I follow the Mariners a bit, too, because they're the local team. They're making money.
Okay.
But they don't want to put the money out.
But Ed,
they get really close.
All right, but Ed, let me ask you this.
They get really close to being contending.
Okay.
But they get a good pitching staff like this year.
Yeah.
But they didn't put out – the Dodgers have Teoscar Hernandez, who had a great year. He was a Mariner last year.
Okay. But Ed,
the Mariners didn't want to pay him.
Okay, Ed, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about them not wanting to pay and everything else. There is also a very simple barrier here. You cannot make the same money. Okay, Los Angeles, New York, these are big cities. There are very rich people there. You charge $200 for a decent ticket. Somebody's going to buy that ticket, okay? They were trying to put a team in New Jersey about 25 years ago or so. And I was involved in these discussions. They were talking about putting 2 different professional teams into New Jersey, and both of them were turned away. Okay, and why? The football team might have been able to make enough money. But because, Giant Stadium was in New Jersey and everything else, it was like, look, that might work, but that's once a week. When you got a 162-game season, the locals in New Jersey we're not going to be able to support a team the way New York does. That was the direct comparison. It was like, yeah, but Philadelphia is not a rich city. Yeah, but where are you going to put this team? Newark? You know what I'm saying? It's too close. And anybody's going to go, do I want to watch this brand new thing that, has nobodies on it, bunch of broken down old guys and brand new rookies, because that's what they're going to start with. Do I want to go even pay for that ticket in Newark? No, nobody wants to do that. Where are you going to put it? Atlantic City? Maybe. Right? Because at least there's an airport nearby and all this. But these are the 2 places, right? You got Newark and Atlantic City, and Jersey's not that big a place. But they seriously considered putting a baseball team in there, and then it was decided based on the fact that you need to raise a certain amount of revenue to maintain even the league's smallest budget when it comes to players and everything else, that it was like not financially tenable. Like if somebody wanted to buy this as like a, as like a vanity thing, like, how Trump owned the Jersey Generals back when we had the USFL, that kind of thing, that was for vanity. That wasn't because he was serious about football. You know what I mean? So the thing is, if somebody wants this as a vanity thing, I always wanted to own a team, but I can't buy one of these, $1 billion teams. right? Because I'm not the guy who owns the Dallas Mavericks, or I'm not one of these, billionaires from the past. I mean, Steinbrenner was a shipping magnate, right? He made his money from big ships and stuff. He was building ships. He had a bank to be able to start with, to put into it. He could put big money in, and he could pull big money out. But say they put a team in New Jersey, realistically, with the competition the way it is, and how much you can charge people, locals in New Jersey don't make as much. Even the commuters going to New York, they don't have as much. So you try and put that there. You try and put it in Oregon, or where's another good one? If we go down a little bit, North Carolina. Say you put in a Carolina baseball team. The money is not going to be there. So you can't field a $200 million roster of players and have a stadium, even with the tax breaks, which they give to these guys, which is another funny thing, where it's like the city or the state winds up paying for the stadiums and all this stuff. In Seattle, they got homeless guys, the Mariners. They got homeless guys selling their beer. You know this, right?
No, I didn't know that.
No, literally, there are homeless guys that line up to go sell beer and stuff and go walk around the stadium and make a couple dollars. They don't even have steady employees doing stuff like that at the stadium because the Mariners don't have the budget for it. Okay?
Kind of like how the Packers pay their fans to shovel the snow.
There you go. How much money is there in Green Bay? I mean, I know Green Bay is a staple of the NFL and everything, but realistically, can they compete financially with the New York Giants? The only way they can is because they turn around with this revenue sharing and they try and even it out. But Major League Baseball, no matter what lip service they've ever delivered to that, if you are not in a moneyed city, you are not likely to be able to survive. This is why, after a while, California, because why does California have so many teams? Because it's the fourth largest economy on the planet. That's the only reason why they can support it.
Oh, yes,
right?
I can understand that.
Now they're way down.
Well, now they're way down, but look. But now the Oakland A's are going to leave, right? So the Oakland A's are leaving. And a few other teams have threatened to leave over the past few years, right?
Well, what was the reason for that?
Because the money in Oakland is not there. That's why. They say, give us a new stadium. And they're like, we got people crapping on the streets. We got to fix our streets before we give you a new stadium. And they want a stadium tax-free. So somebody like Las Vegas or whatever offered the A's. I don't know if they're going, but I do know the offer was there where it's like, look, we'll build you a baseball stadium in Las Vegas. No problem. Come on in. We'll give you the tax breaks. That's a huge thing.
Oh, yes, I remember that. That's like Oakland. Yeah. Oakland went back, and they went to...
That's what I'm saying. So they're going to turn around and use... So they're going to use revenue from the casinos to support the fact that they're not going to charge the baseball team. They'll give them a decade tax-free over there. And so that tax break right there will pay for half of their roster, whether fans show up or not. You see?
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So I understand it now.
So my point is, you can get you got say in Texas. Texas, huge state, big contributor. They've been growing. Their economy's doing well. But can they support more than the Astros, right, and the Rangers?
I'd really like to see a Marfa team emerge in Texas.
What's Marfa? What do you mean Marfa?
What team?
It's a tiny little place in West Texas. It's a tiny little desert spot. So I want to see a team emerge there.
Oh, you mean in like Marfa, Texas or something? Okay, yeah. No, I'd love
Marfa,
to see
Texas. Yeah, you said Texas, so I thought I'd mention some remote.
Yeah, but if you wanted to put the San Antonio Stars baseball team into existence right now, you couldn't do it. I'm just telling you, like that city will not support a team. It just can't. How about this? Alabama probably would love to have a baseball team, but the state is broke. Kentucky, another place. Who's in Kentucky? Anybody? No. You got Missouri does better than any of these places. They got two teams, one in each league, right? Still, the Cardinals and the Royals are both in Missouri, right?
That's.
Yes.
You got Pennsylvania, which is a mixed bag, but on the two ends of Pennsylvania where there's money, see, they got Philly in the east and they got Pittsburgh in the west. People don't realize how big a state Pennsylvania is. there is a huge divide there. The middle of that state, though, is there any money in the middle of that state? I mean, we don't know what the Amish really have.
I can attest to you that there is not money there.
Yeah.
You do not see a Mercedes-Benz driving anywhere in central Pennsylvania, maybe in Harrisburg, but not many of them.
Right. I mean, I'm super surprised that the Pittsburgh Pirates have not been picked up by another place. Okay, like Florida. I think Florida should have the money to be able to support more than one team.
Oh yeah. They could go to Pittsburgh. That would knock out those Marlins to get them sorry ones out of there.
Well, if you put the Florida Pirates, you know what I'm saying? If you put whatever you wanted to name them, I don't know, put them near Disney over there or something, right? Right. You know what I mean?
Orlando,
the Orlando Pirates.
Yeah, put a plane. Yeah. Now, could they report? Would you say in Orlando now? Do you think if they decided that, for example, say, all right, I'm going to Orlando, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I mean, the Pirates say.
Yeah.
And would you think they'd be able to make a deal?
Well, see, it depends on what kind of a deal DeSantis wants to make for him, right? You know, this is DeSantis' state. And people literally who live there call it DeSantistan, by the way. Like he's running his own republic over there. But because he's at war, if he wasn't at war with Disney, I'll tell you, it would be an easy thing. All you'd have to do is you kind of tweak the Pirates logos and stuff a little bit, and you make them like, you know, as if they're the Orlando Pirates of the Caribbean, right? And
it's like that ship. That's how I watch.
Yeah, you couple them up with Disney, right? So you have Mickey Mouse at the ballpark, and you get like a special brand new, just because of the new city, you get a new pirate that looks a lot more like Johnny Depp than that pirate they got, right?
Right.
And then sometimes you have them in their classic uniform. I'm telling you, it's an instant marketing success. The Orlando Pirates.
I wouldn't be surprised if something does that.
He's available.
Make Johnny Depp a token owner. Yeah, make Johnny Depp a token owner, right? Give him 1% of the team.
You know, he's got money.
Well,
he don't have money. He's been doing all these shows.
Well, I'm not saying give it to him for free. What I'm saying is let him buy in for 2% of the team. So he's got a little bit of a stake, right?
Right.
And then, you know, Johnny Depp is part owner of even if he owned 2% of the team, he'd be the only guy they would talk about. So I'm telling you, it's all baked right in. You could move the Pirates to Florida tomorrow and even put them in a hurricane disaster area. In 6 months, the whole place would be revived. No problem. But if you tried to move the Pirates to New Jersey, it's over.
You say there's nowhere in New Jersey that a team can make it because of the money situation and the proximity to the city.
Yeah.
But what about like water district, like Elizabethtown or whatever it is? There's a lot of money that way.
No, it's horrible. You don't understand. I'm telling you, people do not do stuff locally. They don't even. This was one of the challenges with the music scenes that have come and gone with New Jersey, where it's like we have these temporary music scenes pop up, and Asbury Park was one of them. But it took them 30 years to revitalize Asbury Park. They couldn't get construction or the gentrification off the ground for over 30 years in Asbury Park, okay? I'm telling you, Jersey is not the place to go. It's a sinkhole for money. It's not a place where you make money. And even in the areas you're talking about, during the time when it was like a massive, you know, chemical, they were putting out, you know, tons and tons of chemical crap, and, you know, the EPA wasn't regulating them to death pre-Nixon, that part of Jersey, plenty of money there. You know, you could have had the New Jersey petrochemicals, name it, right? Whatever. It wouldn't have mattered. The New Jersey landfills. It would have been great. Whatever. It would have been hysterical. It would have been a joke.
The nitros.
Or even the best thing would have been the
New Jersey nitros.
Or more New Jersey Devils. Continue on with the legendary Devils.
Oh yeah, there's a point. There's a point there doing these doubles.
You know, and then you
got
could
the hockey.
You couple it up with the hockey. Now all of a sudden the Jersey is so bad it's got two Devils, baby. You know what I'm saying? And you just do it like that. And there's all sorts of marketing.
The Texas used to have the Colts and the Colt 45s.
You know what? There was. Now wait a minute. There was a Colts. There was a baseball Colts team too. Did you know that?
I know. They were the Colt 45s.
Yeah, let me take a look at the history. I don't think they existed long, but let me see.
You know what? I think we're at the end of the show here, everybody.
Well, we are, but
end of the show. We're having good conversation.
Yeah, we're excited
about the end of the show.
Okay,
Colt
before
45 is exciting.
Listen,
no, we don't have a beer yet.
Aaron, Uncle, calm down. Everybody, calm down. You got 5 minutes over because Uncle started a little late. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you got 5 extra minutes, so you got your time for your shout-outs and everything. Don't worry about it. And I'll shut up after I find out this thing about the Colt 45s. Okay?
Goes down smooth every
midnight
time.
And stuff. It's time. Something goes on. Watch. It's going to turn to midnight, and I'm going to have to call back in because it kicks me off or something.
All right, you ready for this one?
We'll see.
In 1962, the Houston Colt 45s were an expansion team in the American Major League Baseball's National League. Okay, so they were a National League expansion team in 1962.
How come we haven't noticed these teams? And all of a sudden we're hearing them.
They're forgotten.
Because they didn't exist very long. That's the thing. So I'm looking at this page here, and it's not telling me how long they existed. But they were an expansion team in 62, which is funny because they come in the same year the Mets do.
Oh.
See, there was two. They always have the two expansion teams, right? Every time. So they came in with the Mets in 60 to 62. The Mets lost 125 games or something ridiculous. Like almost every game, they pretty much lost. I mean, their catcher's name was Choo-Choo Coleman. I kid you not.
I never heard of him.
Choo-Choo Coleman, and the guy who became a famous San Francisco Giants manager, Roger Craig, played third base for them. He was probably one of their best players in 62. And 7 years later, they won the World Series.
Craig? Yeah. I didn't know he played ball.
Roger Craig played third base for the 1962 Mets. Absolutely, he did.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, I used to have...
before he became a guy?
Yeah. No, you look, you can check with Eddie next time we talk to him. I guarantee he'll back me up on that. But just off the top of my head, these are things I know about the initial Mets. It's so funny because they used to half celebrate the inauguration because it was so embarrassing. It was the worst start of any expansion team in history.
The JFK guy, remember Roger Craig?
Oh, yeah.
But you remember Roger Craig, the San Francisco Giant manager I'm talking about, right?
Right, yeah. I remember him.
I know. I just found it amusing that they had the same name.
No, me too.
Craig, the deputy, and Roger Craig.
It is amusing, but again, it's two common names. You got to figure they got to come together here and there in history, right? Roger, not exactly an uncommon. My one grandfather's name was Roger, one of the Irish ones, and Craig. Craig is not exactly an uncommon first or last name, right? So
right. It's just odd. It's like once I was overseas, and I swear these British people were trying to test my military discipline with these names. Here comes Sir Michael Jackson. I was like,
well, a lot of that's done on purpose. A lot of that's done on purpose. You got to feel bad for somebody, though, that gets hung with a name, like somebody thought it was a clever idea when they were born. Like, I'll tell you the truth. I knew probably about 9 or 10 kids over the years that were named Michael Jackson. Like their last name was Jackson, and because the family liked Michael, like even a little bit older than me. So, like the kid's born in 1970. And why did they name him that? Because Michael Jackson was a little kid on TV, right? He was already famous as a little kid, so they're like thinking, I'll give him a star's name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you know something about Michael Jackson?
I know a lot of things about Michael Jackson, unfortunately.
I didn't know anything. Yeah. He was born the same time as me.
Michael Jackson was born the same time as you?
58.
In 1958?
Yeah.
Huh.
I found that out when he passed.
I was not aware of that. I never knew that. I knew that he was a little kid, around the time that, I was a little kid and I was watching reruns of TV shows that he was on as a little kid from 7, 8, 10 years earlier. That's all I knew. And they had the Jackson 5 cartoon.
Actually, I didn't know that until I saw when he passed. They showed him, this is when he was born, this is when he died. So they show it that to say when he was born. And I looked at that and I said, man,
yeah, they always
show it. I was born.
August 29, 1958, apparently. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, 58. Well, the year 58.
Well, Uncle, do we want to do shout-outs? Because we're getting about that time.
All right, Jimmy. Is Ed on the show? Ed on there?
Is he still on the line?
No, Ed is gone. Ed is gone. Okay. But here's the thing about those. Here's the thing about those Colt 45s. Just really quick, the reason why they didn't exist too long is because they became, guess who? The Houston Astros.
Astros.
Oh boy.
Oh, so they came from being the Astros.
Oh, Uncle.
The 45 boys.
The 45
now
boys.
We understand this.
Now it all makes sense.
Okay, then.
Well, and the reason why, if you remember, the reason why they named the Houston Astros is it was a big deal because they came up with the Astrodome. And it was the association with NASA and Lyndon Baines Johnson and all of that. Remember, a lot of that stuff came out of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Because Johnson put all that stuff there to give out jobs to his political friends.
At this point, I don't know, as long as the cheaters are out of it. And they were the Houston Rockets. Houston team.
Exactly.
Yes.
Always a good thing.
That's my actual point, actually, for this end of this baseball
There
tour.
we go.
All right, then. Let's talk shout-outs here now.
Guess we got Jimmy, right?
I guess Jimmy's up. I guess he's
let's take a look at who's up on the line first. I think Jimmy's still sitting there. Let's see. Wait. You know what? You also got Eddie back, and so
Eddie's back.
Oh, this is important then if we do this.
So here's what you do. We can bring on Jimmy and Eddie are both called in at the same time. I'm pretty sure that's Eddie.
1 and 2.
All right. So you want me to put them both on at the same time?
Well, put them for their shout-outs. They can.
Yeah. Same time for the shout-outs, or you want them one at a time? Which one?
One at a time, but both of those go 1 and 2.
Yeah. Who's first?
All right. Oh.
They called in almost exactly the same time, so who's first? Because they called back in, both of them.
Want to go with Jimmy?
Yeah, it's good.
Jimmy first.
Jimmy first. You got it.
Okay.
Jimmy, you're up. You're live and loud, I hope.
Hello, Jimmy.
Uh-oh. Jimmy should be live and loud. I got his phone line depressed here, and he was a little upset at my show, but hopefully he cheered up with your show. All right, I'm going to put Jimmy back on hold, and I'm pretty sure I got Ed, the mailing guy here, although he's calling from a different number. I got one number that literally comes up and says Ed mailing guy because I marked the caller ID.
Ed mailing guy. Now, let's see where you at.
Eddie, can you hear us? Uh-oh, what's the issue here? All right,
someone with the lines.
No shout-outs.
Hold it now. We got no shout-outs.
Uncle, we're at the end of the show.
We're at the show. We got no shout-outs because we got a problem with the lines. How's that?
Okay.
Well, it's either that or if you want to take a quick break, I could just pull them back in, or do you want to just close out the show?
I think we should just close it out.
Close out the show for now, and then figure them out for next week.
You got it. Look, much appreciation and apologies both to Ed and to Jimmy James. We had a little issue with the phone line here, disconnected from our setup. So I could call you back in, but we're at the end of the show. So how about shout-outs from Sidekick and you?
Why not? Go ahead. Go ahead, Sidekick.
Thank you for listening to the show, everybody that's watching the live stream. Thank you, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, @Uncle Podcast, also Twitter. So thank you for that. Who you got, Uncle?
Shout out to all the listeners out of the United States, whoever they are.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully more coming next week. And the ones that were on the show.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's it. UncleThePodcast.com or Cherry Radio every Friday night. Bring us on, Uncle.
348 is in the books. Bye-bye.